Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to my channel. I'm Crystal. This is In My Own World Tarot. And this is a collective message about the impact social media is having on society. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're returning, thank you so much for returning. Now, I pray before each and every one of my readings so that way my energy is protected, your energy is protected as well. Also, cuss. May cuss a lot, may cuss a little, may not cuss at all. It all depends on how I feel. So, I wanted to do a quick reading, overall collective reading, because if you're new to my channel, I tend to rant. If you're returning, you know this. Um, but I talk a lot about the impacts of social media, how I have a love-hate relationship with social media. I love the opportunities that it has afforded some people because without social media, they wouldn't even have any type of income going on. They wouldn't have a life going on. A lot of businesses wouldn't be getting the advertising that they need and the customer base that they and retention that they have without social media. I hate social media because what it's doing to the mentality of society, how it is shortening the attention span, how it's not creating longevity of the mind, body, soul, or spirit is instant gratification. So I have a love-hate relationship with social media. So I was like, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to pull some terror on it. We're going to see what's the real impact it's having on us spiritually. We're going to see what it is that we can do about it. We're going to see if we should continue on this path with social media. Let's talk about it. All right. So let's go ahead and dig into the reading and see what's going on. Great God in heaven, please allow me to tap into the energy of the collective. Any message that they're needing, any guidance that they're seeking today. Please allow me to relay these messages to them as accurately and clearly as possible. Please protect my energy during this reading, protect their energy as well. And please continue to bless our lives with peace, abundance, prosperity, and protection. Thank you, amen, and ashe. All right, so of course we want to use the astrology deck. We're going to use, of course, in this reading, astrology, moonology, and numerology because we're talking about the collective. So when you talk about the collective, you want to tap into the ologies of the deologies, the ologize and the demon. I don't know. Anyway, I was trying to rap but rhyme there, but it didn't work out. Anyways, so let's see. What is the impact social media is having on society in a negative way? We're going to start with the negative and go to the positive. In a negative way. What is the impact social media is having on society in a negative way? All right, 12th house. 12th house is when you talk about the 12th house, you're talking about your dreams, your spirituality, your childhood. So you know the impact social media negatively that's having on the collective is the God complex. This is where God complex sits. This is where people think they are holier than thou, than they are more than what they are. Is the impact social media is having on the collective. Let's see, what else negatively is social media having on the collective? Venus, love. Thinking that people care more about you than what they do. Thinking that you have more support than what you have. Thinking that, about you're going to be more accepted than what you would in normal society. I'm talking about the negative. We're going to go to the positive. And then you got Saturn return. Thinking that you're owed more without doing the work. Saturn return talks about, when you talk about Saturn, you're talking about the 10th house, you're talking about Capricorn energy. We're talking about Saturn, talking about karma, you're talking about dharma, you're talking about the shit that you don't want to do is Saturn, but you need to do in order for you to progress. You got Saturn return here. So the negative impact it's having on society is saying that people thinking that they could do less and get more and not actually putting real effort into life is the negative impact social media is having on society. So now that we did the negative, because I like to give me the bad news first, and then we ended with good news. I'm one of those people. Let's see the positive impacts social media is having on society. What are the positive impacts social media is having on society? Positive impact social media is having on society. Somebody needs to remember to breathe, because I just had to remember to breathe. What are the positive impacts social media is having on society? Void course of the moon. divine intervention, like I actually said in my rant, stopping things from happening that are supposed to happen, which is positive, is more giving out more awareness of things happening. But you got like the minds, the third house in reverse. Now, the good thing is that the positive thing social media is having is making people more aware of their mind, their conscious mind, that they may not be in the right headspace. So here's the thing. This is half and half of what I'm about to say. Take it with a grain of salt. This is an opinion for me. So I'm going to say this. Mental advocacy and mental awareness is at an all-time high. Social media has brought it to an all-time high. It has helped us unwrap things that we would have never known, especially in regards to men. Helping them have a voice, helping them to heal the trauma, helping them to speak out. But it's also created an avenue in which I kind of just love and hate of monetizing mental health. And it's a good and a bad thing. Good thing for those who did actually go get, because actually to be a real psychiatrist, you have to have a PhD. I'm not talking about a counselor or therapist. A psychiatrist or a psychologist, you got to have a PhD to actually practice that. So big ups to that, because that's not really a big field, because a lot of people don't go get the PhD. So big ups to psychiatrists and psychologists, not counselors or therapists, but psychiatrists and psychologists. You actually have a PhD. There's a difference. So because we have a lot of therapists out there, we have a lot of counselors out there. You got to and you still have to have a master's degree to get a counselor's license. Just to get the license, you have to have that master's degree, unless you're doing like some type of life coaching or something like that. But to actually be a license, that it takes a lot of schooling for that. So big ups to y'all. But back to what I was saying. The positive thing that social media with the void course of the moon and the mind in the reverse, it's helping people to not be as stuck in their mind and stuck in their depression. But it's also negatively putting people in that negative state, because you got that comparison factor that people do with social media. But I asked about the positive, so a lot of people are actually coming out of that by using social media for the good, which is seeking help and being able to speak out and release the mental strain that they're having, the depression, that the hole that they have, speak out more, getting more justice here. So that's a positive impact. What else? Grand Cross Provoker and Pluto transformation. Yes, child. Listen. Even though we have had the BLM movement, we have had the LGBT rise up. I don't want to get the acronym wrong, but y'all, all them letters. We've had all of that. It needed to happen. The arguments needed to happen. The open discussions needed to happen. Why? In order for the transformation to begin. Now, I'm not going to touch on do I agree or disagree with how some of the arguments happen and what's being thrown in some of our faces. I'm not going to say that. No, I'm not going to give my opinion on that. But I will say that it needed to happen. It needed to be discussed. It needed to be brought to the forefront. And that's the great thing about social media, is that even some people are learning different cultures that they would have never experienced in their day-to-day life without social media. It's bringing all the negatives to the forefront to make people more aware, which is the positive thing social media is having. But some people are using that as positive, and some people are using it negative. You can't help what other people do. But the impact that it's having on society is that it's shining a light on things. And I like how it's just shining a light actually on, and nothing against my culture, but we're not the only ones that suffered. But I'm not going to get too deep in that. We're not. And it's shining a light on especially Asian Americans. I think I said it wrong. But they suffered too. and sometimes if you really look at the history, which is not as deep in the history books as, and we talk about our culture being left out, their culture was left out in the suffering. How do you think they got them railroads and stuff up over there on the West Coast? But I'm not gonna get into that. I ain't gonna get too deep into it, but my culture's not the only culture. And I like how it's bringing to awareness, is like, it's giving a humbleness too. And it's in a roundabout way, the confrontation is bringing in community because people have a better understanding of other cultures. All right? So, we done got into the astrology of it. Let's get into the numerology of it. How social media affected the collective. For real. Don't even get me talking about, like, man, Europe and Asia, Europeans and Asians, the suffering they went through, they whole country got tore apart because of their belief system. Come on, man. Like, I don't know. So, spiritual partnership and healing. Exactly. How it's affecting the collective is that other people are tapping into what actually serves their soul. You're not just a Black American being a Baptist or a Christian anymore, or not pescatarian. Is it? What is it? AME. I'm just going to say AME. Now you're seeing more Black people becoming Jewish or becoming Buddhist or tapping to spirituality. You're seeing more white people not just being Catholic, okay? Wearing the crystals and meditating. A lot of more spiritual partnerships. And let's just give credit where credit is due to the country. Is it a country or continent? It's continent, excuse me. Continent of Asia. Can we talk about Asia? Can we talk about Buddhism? Seriously? Can we talk about it? Because we all sit here and talk about crystals and the sage, and that's a Buddhism. That comes from Buddhism. Also does come from the coast of Africa. It does come from African spirituality, but most of the practices we have dealing with peace and our mindset and the calming of our mind is our Buddhist practices. If we're being for real, the healing is the holistic healing is, yes, African spirituality, but a lot of Buddhist practices. They really do. The herbs and all of that. What? But the impact social media is having on that is that people are tapping into the culture slowly but surely and giving respect and credit where credit is due and tapping into the real healing of it. What is the real healing that we can tap into? And not just going off of modern day medicine, which modern day medicine does work. Always say, go to modern day medicine to get diagnosed and go to holistic medicine to get healed. Eastern versus Western medicine. You need both. And social media is allowing the platform for both to really be exposed. In a good ways and bad way, because everybody's been against the pharmaceutical companies and all that in modern day medicine. And then, you have in the holistic practices, you got frauds out there. People trying to heal people with oregano. So I'm just saying. But I like it's exposed that. Knight of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Queen of Cups, like I said, it's exposing fakes and real, the Hierophant. Queen of Pentacles, people that are out just for money as well. And you guys need to be mindful of that because a lot of people are taking advantage of the social media platform in spiritual ways, especially those who have a powerful tongue with the Strength card and those who can get a lot of exposure. And because you can get so much exposure so fast and you get 15-second intervals in the mind frame and the attention span of society is so short now that people are taking the instant gratification over really listening with the Knight of Pentacles to those who are long-winded, those who are really educating, those who are giving you the knowledge, those who are giving you the longevity of life, of the healing that you need. And you're getting hoodwinked and bamboozled with the Queen of Pentacles, the Four of Swords here, and the Two of Cups. So that's an impact it's having on society as well. A lot of people are getting hoodwinked and bamboozled out here in these streets. You got a lot of people who do not live that lifestyle of the holistic lifestyle, but those 15 seconds or those 15 seconds of their life on those reels they do. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, let's get to the moonology of it. Then we're going to skedaddle. Skibbity dip dop dee. If I can find my moonology deck, I can read. Oh, there it goes. What is the moonology of it? I was telling someone the other day, if you really look at society, the government is ran by moonology. Politicians in the entertainment industry, they use astrology. The bank system, they use numerology and astrology as well. If you pay attention. Pay attention. Take time to breathe out. It's also giving the impact that social media is having on society. It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio is the transformation that, and I want to make sure I say this in the correct way, because it's not that you're not supposed to work hard, but it's giving the impact social media is having on society is the work smarter, not harder mentality. It's showing people how to go about reaching their journey and reaching their goals in a different way. But here's my thing, and I am an advocate for having a strong work ethic all day. Yes, work smarter, not harder, but also the impact, take time to breathe out, it's time to release negativity, is that social media is also teaching this new generation that things just happen like this, or they're believing that things just happen like this. But in order to really be successful, even if you do, like I always say, even if you do go viral, what are you doing after that moment happens? What campaigns are you launching after that moment happens? What are you launching a t-shirt line? Are you getting a team built up behind you? What are you doing after that moment happens? And what social media is teaching this new generation is that all you need to do is have a moment and then everything else, release negativity. That you're just, everything else is just going to fall into place without me doing any work behind it. That is not true. You still got to do work behind it. But that's the impact that social media is having out on society. All right, y'all, that's been a quick read. And I just wanted to tap into it because I talk about it all the time. And I was like, let me really tap into it. But you guys stay blessed, stay safe, and stay protected. If you like to book a personal reading, the information in the description box below. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye. Oh, snap. I forgot to press stop.